And you here at 6 tonight, a 3-day experience at Resorts World advertised as MrBeast Experience in partnership with the popular YouTuber, causing now an uproar among some hotel guests.
Hundreds of people say they got trapped in a hotel for 50 hours by MrBeast himself. No games, no instructions, not even a single update. Was this supposed to be some secret challenge? Or was it just a straight-up setup? Fans showed up expecting that signature MrBeast madness. Wild stunts, big prizes, unforgettable memories. The guy gave a Squid Game in real life, $1 million playground, life-changing giveaways with emotions so perfectly played out, it felt like watching a blockbuster movie. But this time, people paid out of pocket, traveled across the country, and ended up stuck, bored, confused, and locked in a hotel room. No games, no host, no explanation. So what really happened here? Is this the same man who gave away private islands and funded surgeries for the blind? Or is this a darker side of MrBeast we haven't seen before? Because let's be real, when you make kindness your brand, one slip like this makes people question everything. MrBeast used to be that guy who gave the world hope, like maybe good people can win. He built homes, fed families, even opened up schools. He made it feel like YouTube could change lives. But now, that picture-perfect image is starting to fall apart. Hundreds of fans say they were locked in a hotel for 50 straight hours. No games, no rewards, not even a single person in charge. And remember, these folks dropped thousands just to be part of a MrBeast experience. But when the king of kindness starts slipping like this, it's not just his moves people start questioning, it's the trust they once had in him that starts cracking. This whole MrBeast experience was sold like the ultimate fantasy. 3 days, 2 nights at a Vegas resort, promised exclusive merch, crazy challenges, and even a shot at $10,000. That's what people thought they were getting. An adrenaline-packed dream, stamped with MrBeast's golden reputation. The same guy the internet once worshipped like a digital messiah. But when they opened that shiny little box, it was empty. No games, no events, just silence, and crowds standing under that brutal Vegas heat, clinging to the hope something would finally happen. People didn't just feel confused, they felt played. There was no one giving direction, no one stepping up, just unanswered questions and wasted time. And let's be real, if you spend thousands only to be handed a basic hotel room and a swag bag that looks like it came from a garage sale, that ain't an experience. That's a letdown. Some even said it felt like they weren't buying memories, they sold fans a dream. And the scariest part, that dream never showed up. No games, no energy, not even a MrBeast shirt in sight.
So I just was trying to give him the best experience, and unfortunately, I feel like as a parent, I felt.
The whole vibe felt haunted. Dead silent halls, zero direction, no booming music, none of that signature hype we've all seen in his viral videos. It was like walking into a ghost version of what they were promised. But hey, there was one thing waiting for everyone, sitting pretty in plastic like some sort of sorry prize, the exclusive swag bag. Now here's where it really gets wild. The second you open that bag, the illusion rips apart. One guy said he wears an extra large. They gave him a shirt the size of a tent. Another girl, barely a size S, pulled out a pair of 3XL shorts like it was a prank. No options, no sizing, no reason. Just random leftover gear thrown together and labeled exclusive with a cheap sticker that was already peeling off. It wasn't thoughtful. It wasn't special. It felt like getting dumped with rejected merch from a warehouse clearance bin. Fans came looking for a once-in-a-lifetime memory. And what they got? Misfit clothes and awkward silence. Then someone broke that silence, cracked a joke about the swag bag being MrBeast's lost and found, and the whole room laughed. I once heard this saying, trust when it's packaged usually comes with a discount code. Sounded funny at first.
Security's gonna get you. No, I'm groaning. I know. We're both gonna go if I get to. I'm an awful woman.
Until it hit way too real. Because for a lot of people, MrBeast wasn't just a YouTuber. He was the symbol of hope, proof that kindness could actually win in this messed up world. Every giveaway, every good deed, it felt like he was showing us that doing good still mattered. But now, that same name is getting slapped on oversized, outdated merch and sold for thousands like it's a luxury experience? Come on, man. And it's not just strangers he's losing. These weren't random followers scrolling through a feed. These were his die-hard supporters, fans who flew across states, even countries, to be part of something they thought would be unforgettable. Parents brought their kids, people booked flights, packed bags, spent entire savings just to stand in the presence of the guy who once cured blindness and gave away islands. And what did these loyal fans actually walk away with? Oversized shirts, random shorts, and a full afternoon of waiting for absolutely nothing.
This is just a Las Vegas scam, but I don't know, maybe we should ask Jimmy if Jimmy knows about this experience.
One mom, trying not to cry, whispered to her friend, "I feel like I failed my son." That line hit different because this wasn't just about wasting money. It was about trusting a man who used to stand for something bigger. She believed in MrBeast. They all did. These weren't haters or trolls. They came out of pure love. Love for a creator they thought was changing the game. But that's exactly why it cut so deep. Because when it's someone you admire, someone you believe in, the betrayal doesn't just sting, it scars. The room shifted. You could feel the vibe change. Some folks threw their swag bags straight to the floor in disgust. Others pulled out their phones, started live streaming everything, calling out every dollar they'd spent, every promise that got broken. One question kept echoing through the halls. Is this really MrBeast? And just when you think it can't get worse, fans started putting the pieces together. Mac, a fan favorite contestant, turns out to be an actual MrBeast employee, which means that big dramatic win might have been scripted all along. Suddenly, those intense challenges and last-second twists don't feel so magical. They feel manufactured, staged like a TV show designed to pull clicks, squeeze views, and keep you watching to the last second. Some folks might try to brush it off. It's just entertainment, right? As long as it's fun, who cares? But nah, if it's scripted, then say that. Call it a show. Call it a YouTube movie. Don't stand there acting like it's a fair game when it's clearly not. That's not just marketing, that's straight up betrayal. Because once you start handing wins to friends or insider employees, it ain't a game anymore. It's a setup. And the fans, the ones who came in believing it was all real, they're not just confused, they're being played without knowing they're part of the script. Trust isn't forever. It runs out. And this whole experience felt expired before it even began. People didn't stick around out of excitement. They stayed because they were still holding on to hope, hoping maybe MrBeast would show up, hoping something real would finally happen. It's like ordering your favorite meal, waiting over an hour, and then realizing the chef walked out, but no one tells you, no update, no apology, just a cold plate of silence and a fake smile. That's how it felt in that hotel. Dead air, no announcements, just a weird silence thick enough to suffocate a crowd. As the crowd trickled out, holding those featherlight swag bags and wearing expressions heavier than any suitcase, one question kept echoing in my head, and probably in yours too. Was this just sloppy planning, or was it all part of the plan? People paid $1,000 for this so-called experience. And what did they get back? A few cheap merch items with printed logos, a short 15-minute activity that barely felt interactive, and maybe a glimpse of MrBeast from across the room. That's it. That was the whole deal. Do the math. The swag bag's actual worth? Barely $50. Fans basically paid luxury prices for clearance bin leftovers. Let's be real. When someone who wears extra large gets a size medium shirt and a sixth grader gets handed 3 extra large basketball shorts, you start asking, is this just a fast way to dump unsold inventory without having to mark it down? And while fans slowly wake up from the fantasy they were sold, MrBeast has stayed silent. No explanation, no accountability, just silence while the people who believed in him start to piece together the truth. And that's what really hits. It's not about the money, it's what was lost underneath it all. The internet didn't just respond, it erupted. Swag bag unboxings turned into full-blown memes overnight. One by one, people posted clips with the same exact face. That dead stare you make when you unwrap something that smells like expired leftovers. One creator even went viral for holding a mock funeral for the oversized t-shirt, complete with dramatic music and the caption, "Goodbye, dream of meeting my idol. I'll think of you every time I do laundry." Brutal, but honest. And when the backlash reached boiling point, MrBeast finally said something. A quick little tweet saying fans were welcome to visit his studio, and if they still weren't happy, they could request a refund. Sounds generous, right? But let's be real. That felt less like fixing the problem and more like damage control with a smile. It's like if someone scams you and then says, "Hey, come to my house and let me explain over tea." The issue was never about the color of the studio walls. The issue was how fans were treated, like they were just being picky instead of rightfully calling out a $1,000 disappointment. Some folks forgave MrBeast instantly, said at least he apologized, but others, Ice cold. If you fall for it again, that's on you. And honestly, I used to think like the first group. Maybe it was just poor planning, a clumsy event that went sideways. Maybe he'd learn, bounce back and fix things, but the deeper I dig, the more it starts to feel wrong, like something darker is hiding behind that smile. To really get it, you gotta rewind. Back when this whole thing was being hyped like the golden ticket to your wildest dreams. Real-life Squid Game, secret filming location, life-changing opportunity. The headlines were glowing, like some fairy tale pitch straight from the mouth of someone selling seats in paradise. And yeah, I believed, just like thousands of others. But behind all the polish, cracks were already spreading. In just the first week, complaints came pouring in, people begging for help, exposing chaos behind the scenes, horror stories about mismanagement, gross living conditions, and hidden safety risks. A few even joined forces, whispering about a class action lawsuit. Suddenly, without a word, the organizers started rewriting the script mid-event. No notice, no press release, just quiet edits like they hoped nobody would catch on. And that's when it hit me. What if this wasn't just a messed up game? What if it was something else entirely? A social experiment dressed up in bright colors? A controlled setup where people willingly walk in but never ask, who's really pulling the strings behind the curtain? Then the truth started leaking. Little pieces, old clips, stories that were laughed off at first. TikToks people once called dramatic now hit way too hard. Nobody's laughing anymore, because behind all that flashy editing and neon lights was something colder, something that treated fans less like people, more like props. Dozens claimed they were filmed non-stop, pushed to keep going even when their bodies screamed to stop. No real food, barely any water, no real breaks. Just cameras rolling, lights glaring, and staff barking directions like this was a machine, not an experience. One girl, eyes full of tears, said, "I didn't even know if I was still part of a game or just stuck in some creepy knockoff of the Stanford prison experiment. It didn't feel like fun, it felt like being used." When you turn a game into a show, and that show into a non-stop content factory, the first thing you lose is the people, their needs, their limits, gone. The moment folks walked in, they gave their trust. But what they got back felt like a setup where their basic humanity was the first thing sacrificed. Now, maybe that's just one side of the story. Maybe some folks exaggerated. And yeah, in today's world, people love to expose, cancel, or go viral off drama. Maybe he messed up. Maybe he trusted the wrong people. Or maybe, just maybe, he's a man trying to hold together a kingdom of kindness while the wolves of profit circle tighter every day. Whether he's guilty or just guilty of being human, at least MrBeast showed up. At least he said something. And in a world where most creators ghost the moment things get messy, that still means something. At the end of the day, there's still a MrBeast to talk about, to argue about, to question, and to defend. And maybe that's proof in itself that he hasn't completely sold out yet. Because when someone stops mattering, no one bothers speaking their name. Looks, everything we've talked about, well, it's not the full truth. It's not some courtroom verdict. It's just one version of events. A story told from the point of view of the ones who showed up with open hearts and full wallets and walked away confused, hurt, and asking if they were ever seen at all. That doesn't mean he's evil. It doesn't mean his good deeds don't count. But when someone becomes too trusted, their mistakes start to feel personal. And that's what happened here. MrBeast built a brand on being different, on being better than the rest. So when he slips, the fall feels deeper. The MrBeast experience was supposed to be unforgettable, and it was. Just not in the way fans expected. When the event shut down, Backlash exploded like wildfire. Refund hashtags took over Twitter. TikToks, YouTube videos, exposés, all calling him out. Some fans said this was the fall of a legend, the first crack in an empire built on generosity. And MrBeast, he didn't post a long video or give a teary-eyed apology. He hit send on a short tweet, a quiet invite to visit his studio, and an offer to make things right with refunds. It wasn't perfect, but it showed he was still paying attention, still trying, even if clumsily. And in a digital world that moves on the second, something's no longer trending. Just listening, really listening, is rare. Maybe that's worth something. Maybe that's worth one more chance. But what do you think? Did MrBeast just slip up, or is something deeper going on? Is this a wake-up call, or just a bump in the road for someone who's changed millions of lives? Let us know in the comments, and if you made it this far. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you want more deep dives like this.